Hello and welcome to my presentation. Today I'm going to demonstrate to you my practical project for the class of Integration of Database Systems from the Florida Institute of Technology. This database is a photography database done with the purpose of organized photography. I'm going to start introducing my database and my relations. Well, here's my database. It is called photo database. My relations are activity, countries, image, and it finishes here in person appearance. For example, we can see here in image the columns of it. It starts with image ID, timestamp, and continue to the last one that is link. If we continue going down, we can see the indexes that I created on this case. After that, we can see the views. And the views in this case are three: image descriptions, image overview, and location by country. The queries here demonstrate the use of these views. For example, the view number 1 shows a table with the number of each location type that was found in each country that I visited. If I click here, I can see the location by country. If I execute, it's going to show horizontal and vertical totals. Also, we find the information in countries that I have visited that you can find on my pictures: historical, nature, underwater, etc. The view number 2 contains information about each image. With this view, I used subqueries to calculate the number of people and objects. With the view number 1, I used when statements to create a table. If I come here, I can see the camera and the camera that was used for this particular picture. And if I execute it, I can see all the places where pictures were taken showing objects. If I go here, for example, and I change the camera, I can find different information. I'm going to change the Coolpix camera for the GoPro 8. And here the information tells me that one picture was taken on China where 3 persons were on it and were 2 objects on that picture. The query number 3 creates the image description and returns information showing descriptions of the objects in each picture. The view 3 has description for all the pertinent information related to what appears on each image. If I execute this query, we're gonna find location, country, object type, and the description that I say. If I change, for example, this here and I put landscape, and I execute, I find 3 more pictures that have landscapes on it, taken in China, Switzerland, and Peru. And like I mentioned, in view 3, we can find description for all the pertinent information to what appears on each image. The final query here, people ages, uses the timestamp difference function to calculate the age of each person in the photos. If we execute this one here, we will have the ages of the persons. For example, here Ben took a picture in China and he was 36 years. But he was 33 when he took a picture in Geneva. Also here, for example, this picture taken in Peru, in the small town of Querecotillo, of my grandfather. In this case, he was 105 years. He had a lot of years. So this is a description of my database. Now I'm going to show you how I connect this database to a piece of web application software. So I'm gonna go here to Apache NetBeans and I'm coming here to show you what it is. I had tried to do this once first with Glassfish, but it didn't work well for me. And finally I did it with Tomcat and it worked better. I created a JSP index. Here it is, following a tutorial from NetBeans. In the index JSP, I add the table is here, table starting here. All this part indicates what a table is. Also, it references my database using the JDBC. So if we take a look here, we can see that we have data source, JDBC, and photo application. This is going to output all the locations from the location table. After that, we're going to check here other files that are configuration files, the context HTML and the web HTML. On these files, I add the JDBC data source as a resource for the application. If we check it here, we find it, and also in web resource. In these files, I add a copy of my CIS style sheet too, and I add it to the header. So if we come here to index, we find the style sheet and the CSS. The file is also here, and it includes all the characteristics that my application is gonna have. It's how it's gonna look. So now in services, I can see the Apache Tomcat, and it shows that the server is running. The MySQL connector JDriver is in the drivers folder, and I use it to connect to my photo database. So now that I have this, I can show a test by running a SQL script, and it's gonna show everything in my image table. I'm gonna hang it here. I'm gonna select from the image table, and I'm gonna get all the information on that table. So we have here the timestamp, the camera name, location name, and other information included. On this database that includes my photographies, I also have included the file size, the width, length, file type and other characteristics so I can separate them in a better way. So with this, now we can see that the database is connected and show the image table information. So this is the last part of the project. I'm going to show how it is linked to the application. I go back to the projects here and I'm going to do the right click here on the projects in my application and I'm going to deploy it. So I had a successful build. It is showing in this part, very successful, total time 2 seconds. And now I can finally run my application. So I can run it in here. I have to click in this button. And there it is. I have successfully connected my database to my web application. Here I can see, for example, the location names. This is my photography gallery. Now I can continue developing the interactivity of my web application. So thank you for allowing me to demonstrate my project. I really hope you like it. Thank you so much.